What's up, brother? It's been a long time since we last talked, but we live again.
For sure, for sure. What's going on with you, Vic?
Oh man, just another day off the calendar, another chance to dive into some well, I guess overcooked topics.
Right, right.
Overcooked, but like not seasoned properly.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead and go with it then.
You lead us off today, man. You brought this to me, and let me say what I say before I let you, take us down the path that we need to go down. For those of you that's tuning in, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. I'm your host, Victor Vinciant. This is my co-host for this episode, aka the Big Cav Show, Cavi Wallace.
What's going on?
He's been riding with me for quite some time and watching the content grow and always supporting. Every now and then he'll jump out of the bushes and say, let's get on the camera and let's do some things. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing strange though. We just want to talk about solving problems, And so he hit me up the other day and said, I'm tired of black men being the sacrificial lamb for all things black, because we are part of the demographic of the black man that cares about doing the right thing. We got obligations. We got people that depend on us. We don't have time for nefarious activities that jeopardize the safety and security of the households that we're responsible for. We're some married men. We're older. We're approaching middle age. We almost half 100.
Yep.
And we're at the stage in our lives where we're trying to capitalize off of our experience, trying to impart wisdom as we go. And along the way, we still have to continue to separate ourselves from negative stereotypes, and not even from other ethnic groups. We have to separate ourselves from ourselves sometimes, and it's gotten to the point where some of us are almost unrecognizable to each other, until we have certain conversations. Even then, like even our history, right? Like let's take a step back and think about how did we come in contact with each other and what we thought, or what at least what was said, whatever social media narratives have to this point right now. And it's really easy to poison people's ears and eyes with what they think based on their projections. And we talk about this all the time, but this is the era we're in terms of like how we decide what's valid and what's not. And there's been plenty of social media content creators that's getting roped up in scams and everything else. So we have to be careful about what we give attention to. But unfortunately, it's easier to draw a large group of people with shiny objects versus the more difficult topics. I've said countless times, people are more comfortable with talking about eating ass than solving problems.
Right.
So we've come up with multiple ways to say why women are the problem or why men are the problem. Even had to write books about this stuff. This stuff has been studied, discussed at length, beaten into the glue factory. And now we are at a stage where we have to ask the question, are black men the sacrificial lamb of the community? Because if we get blamed for everything and get none of the credit for the success, then are we just meant to take L's? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Is that where we are?
Yep.
Like do we not deserve better than this?
Right.
And I'm okay with it if that's the point, because like if everybody's okay with it, I want to fight it. I want to push back. I want the smoke. I want the smoke. I want to beef with anybody that don't align with the same ideas. I don't care how they feel about it. I want to argue. Because if you're gonna blame me for everything, then I need to be able to scuff you up too.
Absolutely.
I think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? So like even now, like look at the thumbnail. Let me put the thumbnail up here. I'm gonna take us off for a second.
Take us off for a second. Let me see the thumbnail.
Matter of fact, I just put it on the overlay, because I can do it that way. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. I thought I was in the overlay spot. That's how hot I am. I'm in the wrong spot clicking.
Right.
In the wrong spot. Today's topic is the black man the sacrificial lamb?
All right.
And look at my man. He cooked. My man feel cooked over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We over there looking tender. He got a tear coming out his eye.
Man, he hurt, man. He hurt. He definitely hurt, man. He definitely hurt. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it because at the end of the day, like I said, like you said, I called you, in a day when I was just, doing my rounds and everything. Go ahead and put us up side by side. You know what I'm saying? But called you when I was doing my rounds and everything, and I said, "Yo, man, let's do a show on the black man being the sacrificial lamb of the black community." And what I said really was the good black man. So we're gonna kind of separate, ourselves from what I call degenerates, and good black men that are 90-degree men, standing on 2 feet like humans, not acting like a bunch of fucking animals out here, right? Mm-hmm. So what I meant by that is good black men who care about the community, who care about our people, who care about black people, that want to see us as a whole do well. What happens to us is that we get used and abused by our community. And what I mean by use and abuse is there are a bunch of degenerates out here. We're going to say this first and foremost. Let's just say the degenerates are in the vast minority. If we're going to put them like in a percentage out of 100%, we'll say probably somewhere between 5-7%, something like that. You got a very loud minority of men who ain't shit, who speak for all of us as black men. So whether you're a faithful man, whether you're a man that's supportive to your wife, to your children, to your family, to your community, whether you're, like I said, a 90-degree man, standing straight up as a human, not any, animalistic attributes at all. If you are that type of black man, we get drowned out by this vast minority, this, like I said, 5 to 7% of us that are a loud minority because they're doing all the fuck shit out here that is creating the turmoil in our community. So to give you an example, most black people in America get up, go to work, collect their hours, the end of the week or end of 2 weeks or end of the month, you get paid, pay your bills, go out here and enjoy life as much as you can, take your vacation. We do everything that every other race of people do, right? We enjoy ourselves and we do that in a very productive way. This is the vast majority of black people do that, especially, vast majority of black men, because we're speaking on men at this point. The vast majority of black men do that. But you do have this 5 to 7%. And I'll break that percentage down on another day. But like I said, that 5 to 7% that they go out here and they completely fuck up what has been built by good black men, black communities. Okay. So back in the day, it was very hard for black people to progress. There were laws against us and all these different things that we could not progress. Right. But you had good black men and great black women that made sure that we progress regardless of the obstacles that we had in front of us, right? And what's happened is these progressions that we've made as black people are kind of getting set back by a very small minority of black people who can't seem to get their shit together. So what I mean by the black man, the good black man being a sacrificial lamb to the black community is all this hard work that we do in community, whether you're a coach, whether you're a mentor, whether you're a teacher, whether you're just a father, whether you're the neighborhood father, doesn't matter. All this hard work that we do gets muted and covered up by the dumbassery, degeneracy of this 5 to 7%. these 5 to 7% out here that's out here doing nothing but fucking up the community. What I mean by that is, like I said, most black men go out here and work, or they entrepreneurs making money that way. You got these dope boys out here that fuck up the community. Whether take it back to the 80s and 90s, you selling crack and heroin and doing all this crazy shit in your own community. There was biological warfare waged against black people back then. Okay. And the only way that biological warfare could get through to the black man is it had to have a set of nuggers that were willing to allow all this to come into the black neighborhood. Just imagine that you got heroin handed to you by the government. You got crack handed to you by the government. Hey, nigga, go out here and sell this heroin. Go out here and sell this crack. Imagine if you had all good black men and no black men that want shit. None of that would have gotten into the black community. Correct? Can we agree on that?
Yeah. And
it takes right. It takes sellout nuggers for these things to work. Am I saying that the government had nothing to do with crack cocaine making its way into the black? Absolutely, it had that's proven. That's written down. We know that that's the case. However, without these nuggers, these sellout nuggers, it would have never came to pass. You had to have a set of lousy ass motherfuckers that didn't care about what the people that were before them built, the greatness that they built. You had to have a set of sorry ass motherfuckers that were willing to go out here and sell heroin, sell crack, now pills in their own communities to their own people. And that's where the setback happened. You got to have these sellout niggas. But the thing is that the black community has embraced these motherfuckers for some odd fucking reason. And I can't understand. I'm sorry I'm cussing so much, but I'm passionate about this because I'm sick of it at this fucking point. We have allowed these niggas to be viewed as some type of fucking superhero. Like they did some shit right because they handed out some fucking turkeys on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Didn't talk about the gunshots ringing out in your goddamn community. Didn't talk about 15, 16-year-olds getting shot and killed in your community. Didn't talk about all the little girls that got molested and raped in your community by these niggas. Didn't talk about housing values going down. Didn't talk about crackheads walking up and down your motherfucking street. Didn't talk about pill poppers walking up and down the street. Didn't talk about these zombies walking up and down the street. Didn't talk about the extremely crazy environment that our kids have to walk through because these sellout ass niggas decided that a pair of fucking Jordans was worth more than having a solid community. That's what I'm talking about. So what happens to us as black men, as good black men that actually do work out here in the community or have done work out here in the community? We go out here and we work our asses off, especially with these young little boys, to try to fix the problems that these nuggers have created. This loud minority has created. I'm trying to figure out how we, as a people, allow this destructive, degenerate, loud minority to take the top dog spot in our community. Why we haven't shunned and shamed these niggas. I ask myself that question all the fucking time. Like, why are we the only fucking race of people that put our criminals and our degenerates at the highest point? You don't see that from the Asians. You don't see that from the Indians. You don't see that from the Jews. You don't see that from the white people. They do not put them at the highest spots. They don't do it. And for good reason. And that's the reason why when you go to their neighborhoods, they don't look like our neighborhoods. They making sure the men who are solid are at the highest spots and are regarded as the best people. They're not looking at the sorry ass niggas at those. They're not looking at them to be at that highest spot. They're not. So what I'm saying is, like, when you have all these young black boys out here being raised by single black mothers. Now, let's go back to percentages. Most single black mothers raise productive citizens. Can we agree on that?
I don't know. Not arbitrarily. I think
let me give you the numbers.
Okay, give me some numbers. Yeah.
So if 70% of black boys are raised in a single family household, and basically they say raised by single mothers, 70% of them, right? We're going to say that less than a percentage of those come out to be killers. And me and my boy Donald, we ran the numbers one time. I think it came out to like 0.0017.
It's a very small percentage.
It's a very small percentage of that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that we listen to the metrics of them saying, well, most black boys who are in jail are raised by single black mothers. Okay,
they flip the macro. They flip the macro in that.
They make it look much worse than what the fuck it is. Yes, that may be the case, but how many black men are in jail, comparatively speaking, to how many black men are not in jail?
The criminal element total for America's population is 3% of the entire population. So
there you go.
So there you go. Then when you start talking about like a tenth of a tenth, it's a very insignificant number in terms of the big picture, you know.
Very insignificant number. So the thing is that we have to agree that most single black mothers raise upstanding, productive citizens. They do. You can argue all you want, but the fucking numbers tell you something totally goddamn different. You know what I'm saying? Don't always get trapped into the algorithm, because that's what we're doing. We get trapped into the algorithm, and it's not just black people, it's white people, it's everybody else. You got this new thing out that they're calling black fatigue, which they've turned that word around. Black fatigue was the experience that black people had in this country, that racism and prejudice and all these things were blocking us from gaining access to certain things. That's black fatigue. Now what they have is they have this thing saying black fatigue, women wearing bonnets, women out here twerking, YNs out here shooting up the block, teenagers out here 300 at a time, doing a teenage takeover in major cities, things like that. Now, this is the thing, because we have created our own algorithm. Flipping through a phone, we've created our own algorithm. We have created our own reality, which isn't reality at all. Because if you watch the quicks or the reels or the YouTube shorts for more than a minute of positive things that black kids, black people are doing, then that's what you're going to be fed. You're going to create that reality for yourself. You're going to create that reality, right? So what I'm saying to people is clean your algorithm. For one thing, you have to clean your algorithm, because if you don't clean your algorithm, you're going to think that black people are going fucking crazy. And that's not the case. That's not the case. I live in a predominantly black neighborhood. My mother lives in a predominantly black neighborhood. I can say you can go outside on any given night and not hear a gunshot. Okay. I can say when there's a news article released or some type of news story released, I can say that shooting didn't happen anywhere near this house or my mother's house. It didn't happen anywhere near that. You know what I'm saying? It happens in a certain area, and it's every fucking time pretty much. It happens in the same type of areas. And those areas are collectively populated by a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. I hate to say it. Now, it's not all dumb motherfuckers. Like I said, it's the selected minority, the loud minority. You might have 20 kids in a neighborhood, and they shooting up the block constantly, shooting at each other constantly, doing dumb shit constantly. But you got 2,000 to 3,000 people living in that same neighborhood that ain't doing shit, going to work every day, paying their bills, chilling, eating dinner every night. They ain't worried about none of that shit. But you got these 20 rascals out this motherfucker doing all kinds of dumb shit. And it makes it seem like everybody in that neighborhood is doing everything dumb. No, most people ain't doing that shit. Most people ain't doing that shit. So going back to saying black men are the sacrificial lamb, we are out here working and doing what we can to make sure that we get in front of these young men, whether it's coaching, mentoring, doing whatever you got to do. We're getting in front of these young men. We're talking to them. We make sure they're loved. We're making sure that they're cared for. We're making sure that they see some type of positive black imagery in front of them. What happens unfortunately, is.
All right, folks. Appreciate you sticking with me to the end. This has been another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go get the book. And most importantly, I will see you beyond the algorithm, because that's where life actually happens.